The digital revolution changed everything. According to a study by Blissfully, the number of software as a service subscriptions are expected to increase by 95% over the next 2 years. Today, we're talking specifically about marketing software tools and tactics for small businesses, or MarTech. Sarah, we're going to talk about marketing technology on today's show, which is a very exciting topic.
It really is.
It is. There's so much going on with it. And I think to set the stage, the idea is it's not a matter of if you need marketing technology today, it's a matter of which technology do you need. So how do you even think about starting into this path?
Right, and I think the bigger question is, how do you choose between 7,000 different pieces of marketing technology that are now available to you? But what's really great, in that 7,000 different pieces of technology, there are free, affordable tools that really can meet your budget needs. So I think that's what's really great for small business owners.
What's a good entry level? What kinds of technology should you look at first?
You absolutely need an email marketing service, and there are some free or low-cost ones available. You need a client relationship manager. And of course, social media. Everyone's on social media, and you should use the tools available to you that can help you manage your feeds effectively.
Yeah, those are some great ideas. Let's just get started on it. It's a good show. I'm Lisa Smith, and this is Focus on Business. Joining us today are two of the top experts in marketing technology. Duane Forrester, Vice President of Industry Insights for Yext. Previously, he was Senior Product Manager responsible for Bing's Webmaster Program. Duane's even spent time advising the staff who maintain the White House's websites. We also have Dan Tyre, Director at HubSpot, the world's leading software for digital inbound marketers. Dan's an expert on business growth, a speaker, and author of the book, Inbound Organization. Both of our guests are focused on helping small, medium, and enterprise businesses improve their digital marketing experts. You've traveled a long way to get here. It's good to have you on the show. Dan, a lot has changed. How has this impacted sales and marketing over the last 10 years?
Lisa, thanks for the invite. Super excited to be here. The transition of growing a business has changed quite dramatically over the last 10 years. In 2006, when you were going to buy something, you went to a retail store and you talked with a salesperson. And post-2007, we see what we call the inbound revolution, where most folks will go to the internet to research a purchase before they actually buy. So sales and marketing has changed considerably. It moves from direct mail and billboards to optimizing your website so that you can connect with people who are looking for your product online. And in the old days, when you wanted to grow your business, you hired field salespeople and salespeople to generate revenue. And in 2019, you want to hire a quality marketing agency or a marketing person so that they can optimize your website, so that more people can find you online, so that you can work through the buyer funnel, so that you can get their business.
Right, yeah. And there's everything about you is online. So your company is everywhere. You have folks who are crawling all kinds of information. You're posted here and there. It takes a lot of time to do that. How do you approach really keeping your information out there correct and
so this is
relevant?
This is a fundamental challenge for businesses of all size. And to Dan's point, this takes time. We no longer live in a world of if you build it, they will come and buy and make you wealthy. That type of business model ceased to exist about 6 minutes after it started up. The reality today is you have to have a plan. You have to understand it. So having good people inside your company, having people that are knowledgeable, or a partner in a marketing agency who knows what those basic steps are, identifying all of the assets for your business. And we're not just talking about the automobile that's attached to the business name and your retail footprint and the inventory you have. We're talking about digital assets today. The stories of your founders, the history of your company, your videos, the content you produce on Instagram, on Facebook, and so on. These are all digital assets that need to be tagged and cataloged and used effectively online as a part of, I guess, what you would think of as a campaign for your business. I think one of the biggest changes we've seen has been an opening and equalization of access to audiences through social media and across the internet. Now any business can step forward. Any local coffee shop can be a superstar on Instagram because their baristas are displaying something a little bit niche, a little bit different. It's just as simple as that, and most businesses can actually capitalize on that.
Well, I want to back it up even farther than that, though. There's just basic information that's out
absolutely.
there. I think you call that the digital footprint,
Yes.
and you've got it more places than you think. For
Yes.
example, you might have an employee who signed you up for an account over here. Now they're no
Exactly.
longer with you. That account's just sitting there. Now
Yep.
it's 5 years old. Your hours have
Data's
changed.
out of date.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit.
So this is a fundamental. This is like the foundation of the house, if you will. And identifying those things and understanding them is really paramount for a business. And to your point, I know with our work at my company, we touch well over 100 different databases around the internet where we talk to and we update and maintain the data for a business. So I know there are a lot of those locations out there, most of which most people have never heard of. The challenge, though, is you have to dig around. You have to find where that information is and either claim the account or create a new one and update that information. It's extremely important because today's search engines are checking all of those sources. They all have their own small audiences, which kind of matter to themselves. They all like to grow. But more importantly, the search engine wants to see continuity across every location. And when it sees that 4 or 5 are not the same, it slows down, it pulls back, and it says, well, I'll wait to see if I should trust this. So many businesses make mistakes on their official website, on the actual website. The search engine can't just blindly trust that. They want to see that everywhere. And so this is why I say it does take work.
Right, it takes
time.
work, but we're talking
Yeah.
about software tools today that can help
Yes.
you do that, and you're from Yext.
Yes. So this is primarily one of the reasons why Yext came to be, is managing all that data footprint. One location, one account that you access, touches up to 200 locations across the internet, whether it's Google or Bing or Amazon and so on. And these are foundational areas where consumers are flocking en masse, and this is what consumers are using today. So you have to maintain that data footprint. You can do it manually, and if you're a small business, it may make complete sense to do that a few hours a week, if you've got that time. If not, then you probably want a solution that does that on your behalf.
Right, absolutely. So now we've got the digital footprint straight. We know our hours are right, our locations are right, founders, all of that, phone number. How do you begin to sell? Now that you've got this digital marketing platform to launch from?
So once you've decided that you want to be online, by the way, 97% of all B2C and B2B purchases,
You probably better say what that is.
business to consumer, business to business purchases, start with an online search. Isn't that the way you do it, Lisa?
Absolutely.
And why do you do it that way?
Because it's quick.
It's
I
quick.
don't have to get in my car.
It's easy.
accurate.
It's accurate. It's
However,
free.
I was doing some work for the Small Business Association of Michigan, and we uncovered a piece of research that said, as of last year, I think it was 40% of businesses do not have a website.
It's
So, I mean, that's
staggering.
scary. But I want to get back to this. Now that you have a website, how do you sell? You
Even
start
if
with
you-
the search.
Even if you don't have a website, you have to be online digitally. if
You will
play
be.
into that
You already
statistic.
are.
That's true.
Exactly. And the reality is, even if you just start with a Facebook for Business page, right, people should be able to find you and the essential information that you were talking about. The key in 2019 is you can't sell, you can only help. And Lisa, do you like pushy salespeople?
No.
How about you, Duane?
Not at all.
So if you push in 2019, you'll never get the business. And the essence of the inbound revolution is that you want to help people. And do you like helping people?
I do.
And do you like helping people?
Love it.
That's why we're here, right? And so helping people is significantly different. So there's a couple of things that you do for your website to make sure that you're helping people. The first is you target exactly who you can help, right? And this is a challenge in 2019 because 5 years ago you could be a generalist. You could help lots of people. Today, the riches are in the niches.
Absolutely.
And you have to be very, very specific. Are these the type of people that we can help? The second thing is on your website or on your digital footprint, you have to have opportunities to inform and to educate and to help people, right? It could be a checklist. It could be a piece of content. It could be a blog article so that you show somebody who comes to your website that you understand them, that you're willing to help them, and that you're going to provide something at no charge so that they can become educated. And if you earn that person's trust, and if you teach them certain information, then there's a higher propensity for them to think of you when they move from the awareness to the consideration stage. So the whole inbound revolution is treating people like human beings, right? No more pushy salespeople, right? We want to treat them like we're having a conversation. You want to make sure that you explain to them how you can help. And you want to move them from awareness, that's how they find you, to consideration, to starting a relationship. When I first started my business career, we used to close deals, right? There was all this like warrior imagery, right? That's not what we do anymore. We try to find the right people that we can help, and we try to provide the help that they need so that they can grow.
You know, if you do that really well, you are connecting, engaging with your visitors. You can then actually, and this is a software, we're talking about marketing software here, so I'm going to go there. If you do it, you've connected, you've given someone a good experience, they feel like you've been helpful, then you can actually be using tools that will accelerate the option to make that relationship real. And I'm talking about things like chat and chatbot.
Yep.
Those are actual tools inside the HubSpot software where we're seeing a highly accelerated rate of, yes, I'm going to do business with you if you give people that opportunity with a digital tool.
Yeah, it's staggering. If you look at some of the results that companies see using chatbots for customer service interactions, there are instances of what's known as a click rate. So somebody clicking on a link or a piece of content that's been put into the conversation in chat. If you ask a chatbot a question, the answer it brings back is usually a link off to something else. Those click rates can be as high as 40-45%. And that type of click rate typically doesn't reach those numbers anywhere else on the internet. It's an incredible experience. In fact, and we kind of touched on this, today, consumers, over the last 20 years, consumers have been taught to search by entering keywords. Just throw some keywords in a box, we'll get you pretty close to your answer. And the reality today is, with our new phones, with our new systems, with the digital assistants that are available everywhere, it's turning to conversation. So this is people asking a device a question, fully formed question, and then getting the correct answer back. And this is where we start getting into chatbots, and so on. And it's a hugely powerful opportunity for a small business. Small website, doesn't have to be complicated. Put a chatbot in there. It can handle questions while you're not around. It can alert you to things when you are around, so you're available to answer that question. Because I'm pretty sure we're all going to agree there's nothing more important than answering the consumer's question.
Right, and these are, the reason that you're here is because this is a small business show. So
Right.
500 employees and under
Yep.
is who we like to talk to on this show. Yext, who you represent, for a few bucks a month, you don't have to spend 3 hours a week.
Yeah.
HubSpot, free chat tools, chatbots for a few bucks a month. So then the question becomes, you're helpful, you're presenting an engaging, right experience for who you're trying to do business with. They recognize that. They chat with you, or they fill out a form in a chatbot. Do you call them? What do you do? How do you then make that a real interaction from the digital experience?
Yeah, for me, I think this is where small businesses really have an advantage, right? Small businesses have relationships, right? They know how to treat people, right? They know how to smile, especially here in Michigan. It's crazy, right? It's a little cold, but it's like lots of smiles. And so the engagement, right, becomes very, very human. If somebody drops information on a website, right, it's perfectly okay to pick up the phone and say, hello, Lisa, how are you doing today, right? And then what were you looking for help with, right? That opening line is super important. If you ever call me up and try to qualify me, are you ready to buy? I'm not going to be happy. But if you call me up and say, Dan, what were you looking for help with? Now you're at my service. Now I'm like, well, I was interested in this. And guess what? Small business owners do that all the time. When people walk into their shop, when they just talk to people in their associations, when they just have a conversation.
It's a hugely powerful moment, right? To Dan's point, large companies have big budgets, they have people, they can deploy resources, that's great. Small business, agile, fast, they know what matters, and they're personal. So when somebody completes a transaction with you, that's the time to reach out to them. And that transaction may be as simple as asking questions about a product. Keep an eye on the questions being asked, and you'll start to see a pattern. And then you can start predicting what's next in that life cycle. That is huge, understanding the intent. So when somebody asks you 5 questions about a product, and questions 6 and 7 are what get people to buy the product, it's okay to reach out and say, did you also know? Or you may be interested in. Having those moments is fantastic, and making yourself available is key. So every transaction is, can we contact you? Give us your phone number if you feel confident in us phoning you. Here's our number, call us if you have more questions. Encourage that interactivity. A lot of customers are just going to pick up the phone and say, oh, this will be faster if I just ask my questions out loud.
Yeah, that's kind of generational, right?
Yeah, and 30 minutes later, they're still on the phone with you because they love you, because you're engaging. And then, you're going to get the sale.
Yeah,
There's no question.
Great. We've talked a little bit about how to control your information, then what to do to create a sales path on your website so that it's a good experience. But there are external circumstances around your website and your business. There are things like reviews. That's kind of a big deal. Reviews are more than simply somebody saying something. What are the consequences of having reviews out there?
Yeah, reviews are probably one of the strongest areas to focus on today. The search engines are watching them, whether it's a first-party review, meaning you collect the reviews on your own website, or a third-party review, space like TripAdvisor or Yelp, for example. Consumers will vent their frustration. Sometimes they'll even say good things and be happy with this. It's important that you listen. It's important that you engage. Jay Baer is an author. His last name is B-A-E-R, and he has a book called Hug Your Haters. It's all about this idea of how to turn people that are dissatisfied with you into raving fans who absolutely love you. And if you think about it, small business owners, they do this every day. And it's an unsung part of being a small business owner. Someone comes in, they're dissatisfied, whatever it was. And you have to deal with that. You have to talk them down off the ledge, you have to calm them down, and somehow get to the point where they become a return client of yours. That's what this is all about. You can encourage people to leave reviews for you, and you should. You can put stickers up in your business, you can do whatever, but talking to them and suggesting it is hugely powerful. There's a psychological barrier when I make that social contract with you and say, I will give you a review. A lot of people will follow through because the social contract is, I told you I would, and therefore I'm a bad person if I don't. So take that step, ask for it. And then when you see the reviews, the general numbers are somewhere between 60 and 80%. You want to respond to them. Even if they're positive, you want to say, thank you, we appreciate your business. If they're negative, there's a very clear path in how you respond to that. You acknowledge the person individually, you call it what the problem is, you state clearly how you're fixing it, and you invite them back to do business with you again and hope that you can earn their business again. You lay that out in your response. Even if you don't get the client back, you are seen by tens of thousands of other people to be doing the right thing. And that influences not just people, but the search engines, and that has an impact on your ranking, which then has an impact on how you show up and more business.
When I talk to small business owners globally, I always ask them, do you want more word of mouth leads? And they always say yes. And do you like word of mouth leads?
Love it.
Do you like word of mouth leads?
I do.
Why do you like them, Lisa?
Because usually it's been a good experience and they're going to tell you the best things about the company.
Why do you like them, Duane?
More is more, but I'm always slightly concerned about what people are saying.
So word of mouth leads typically come with built-in trust. They typically move a little bit quicker. Duane told me to buy this, all right?
Yep.
So how much does it cost? Let's go. A little less price sensitive. So creating this word of mouth, right? HubSpot has a term called the flywheel. You want to be intentional about creating advocates. You want to treat people like human beings. You want to make sure that they become good customers, and then you want to make sure that they're talking about you everywhere they can in a very specific way so that you can attract more customers.
Dan, I bet you that we can learn more about that in Inbound Organization. I did. When I found out you were coming on the show, I bought the book.
Thank you very much.
I literally went on Amazon and bought it. So thanks so much for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Does your website work for you, or is it just static noise? Update your digital marketing strategy with InVerve Marketing. The way we buy has changed. It's time to dream bigger than ever before, so you can grow your business faster than ever before. Accelerate your growth potential when you measure and evaluate results with expert analysis. We'll help you find your marketing superpowers so your business can soar. Fuel your success with inbound marketing, a proven tactic that provides better lead generation for your business. InVerve Marketing provides award-winning website design, driven by strategy with inspired creativity, and the tools you need for more efficient, effective marketing. To grow bigger and faster, you have to bring your business into the future and go where your customers are. Put some verve in your brand. Where will you go? Market and grow better with InVerve Marketing. Jeff, marketing technology is what we're talking about, and software as a service is something that's coming up over and over again. You cannot avoid it today if you're a business. The average small and medium-sized business uses over 20 pieces of software as a service subscriptions every single month. That is a lot to manage. That's just the average. So how do you manage all of this software as a service?
Right. So it is a challenge. And what we've seen, what not to do, I guess, in companies is that you have a great idea. And so you go out and you research and you find here's a subscription service and you go and sign up. And it goes on your credit card. Okay, next person does a similar thing, next person does a similar thing. Now there's 5 of these things, maybe there's 10 people that are signing up for accounts. They're not sharing the information with the other people. Sometimes there's duplicate accounts. And then worker A leaves or worker B leaves, and now what? So nobody knows who's got that subscription. Is it on somebody's credit card? Did the credit card get stopped? And so that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to think about it ahead of time. Now we're already into this. We're already into the 21 subscriptions, so we might have to go back and fix it. But if we haven't started yet, let's say we start with a single email address called software at your domain name or licensing at your domain name, and then everything is going to be registered under that name. And then we put it under a single credit card. So if the credit card needs to get renewed, then we know we have to go to 21 places and renew the credit card. So it's thinking about it ahead of time and figuring that you're going to have the one source, not 12 people that are doing similar things, and control it. And so then somebody needs to approve these things, right? And so that's a control point, credit card, email address.
I love that idea. That is brilliant. I hope everybody learned something from this today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Focus on Tech, brought to you by Providence, making technology easier.
Three in 4 Americans worry that ransomware hackers are a threat to their personal data. A few things you must do to protect yourself and your family are: lock down your privacy settings on Facebook and other social media accounts. Use only unique and strong passwords. Use multi-factor authentication where possible, such as Gmail and Amazon, and monitor your online account activity often. To learn more about protecting yourself and your family from cybercrime, visit defeatthebreach.org.
Today we talked about marketing technology, and a lot of that falls under software as a service. So these are things that you pay on a monthly basis. And I mean, they're really contracts. What should we look out for? These are brand new kinds of contracts that are coming into our doors.
And the most interesting thing is they're usually contracts that are 10, 20, 30, 40 pages long on some website somewhere. So you need to read them. Or you need to have somebody read them for you, have a great contract attorney or a marketing attorney or a regulatory attorney read the fine print for you. Make sure that you know what you're getting. Make sure that if it's on auto renew, that renewal notice isn't going to some a part-time administrative assistant, so you won't be getting it. Know who signed up for the contract. You as a business owner, even though it's nice to have everything automated, needs to be first person involved in this kind of decision, and you need to be signing your own agreements. You need to know what you're signing. You need to make sure that you own the material that you are paying for, and that you're not signing off intellectual property rights to somebody else or losing them. So there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, I mean, these feel almost like an IT job. So something that you might delegate to somebody who's doing marketing for you, in either on your staff or at another company, or it's going to go to an IT firm. Okay. But the reality is, this is your contract. This is director level stuff, right?
It is.
So you should own it. You should.
Absolutely, you need to own it. I mean, the nice thing about marketing technology, right, is it makes our lives easier, and it allows us to outsource our marketing and not have to be first person involved. But you can't let go too much. As a business owner, you do need to remember that, first of all, whatever that marketing firm is saying about you out there is you. That's you. So you need to know what the content is all the time, and you need to also know the contract that you're getting into, and make sure that that company comes back to you for all the decision making. It's ultimately your responsibility still.
You're just never going to let it go. I mean,
right.
As an owner, you still have so much to do.
Right.
So.
Yep. Still need humans.
Yeah, that's right. We still need humans. Thanks so much.
Yep.
Focus on Law, brought to you by Policella and Associates, PLLC.
The big takeaway from the show is that MarTech now allows for small businesses to compete in the age of digital. The tools are free or inexpensive and give capabilities and intelligence used by large company sector.
One in 4 Americans have been victimized by cyber criminals. A few things you must do to protect yourself and your family from cybercrime are: stay protected while connected with secure Wi-Fi settings. Keep your device software up to date with the latest security patches. Don't fall for phishing emails. Your identity is priceless to you. Protect it with a credit freeze. Don't become a cybercrime statistic. Protect yourself now. Visit defeatthebreach.org for more information.
Build a better marketing strategy with Inverve Marketing. The way we buy has changed. It's time to dream bigger. With digital marketing, you can build your business faster, measure and evaluate results. Let us help you find your marketing superpowers with inbound marketing, driven by strategy with inspired creativity. Why not put some verve in your brand? Market and grow better with Inverve Marketing.